guys, it's Bright tonight. We're here with an update on the Not So Resilient Jenkins. As usual, they have put out a new grift, and in my opinion, this is right in time for the holiday season. We're going to talk about what Steph shared literally yesterday. It's got a lot of people talking, and I figured let's go ahead and talk about it on YouTube because, as I always say, I know a lot of y'all don't have TikTok, don't want TikTok, and that is always valid. So if something like this happens, I am more than glad to share it over here. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so before we watch Steph's video, this really reminded me of something that I've talked about for many years on this channel, and that is the idea that family vloggers and influencers will allegedly be going through a really tough time. This is so scary. It's an emergency. My kid got hurt. I got hurt. And they automatically want to turn on the camera and make a TikTok or make a vlog about it. It is so completely out of touch. I don't understand why that would even be on a table of options if you are currently going through a disaster of sorts. Now, what Steph shares, she automatically, obviously, comes on very aggressive, very defensive, and we're going to watch the video. I have a few questions about this because allegedly the youngest child had a seizure, and instead of Steph going to the hospital with the baby, she sent Drew to the hospital with the baby, which I want to know from y'all. Those of y'all that are parents or educated or have experience in the field, knowing that she has said so many times that the baby is never without her, and knowing her age, I found this to be a bit of a red flag that you're sending a baby that's not even a year old, call it what, 10 months old, to the hospital with Drew instead of Drew staying back and watching the other kids so that you could be there for literally like the baby that can not talk and relies on you for meals. That seemed like a bit of a red flag kind of choice. But before I babble, let's watch her video.
You're only gonna focus on the fact that I fucking have this shirt on, that I'm in the fucking grimy ass bathroom. And this is the reality of not having a fucking village, bro. Because my fucking baby, my 10-month-old baby, just had a fucking seizure. I mean, I don't like posting this kind of shit normally because...
But you do post it. You like posting it because it gets you clicks and views. Don't come on here and act as if you've never overshared about your children or you've never made videos that should have stayed in the drafts and most likely not even recorded at all. You do like it because you like the negative attention that this brings to your platform, because you don't look at it as this is negative and it shouldn't be shared. You look at it like a grift because y'all are grifters.
It's like people will make the video about anything but what I'm going through, and you'd be like, you fucking deserve this shit, and just all this like bullshit about like not acting like I'm human, and this stuff is tough to fucking go through because I don't get to be there with my baby.
So again, why wouldn't you have gone with the baby and Drew stayed behind? It just, the math isn't mathing. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I just have to stay here and take care of the rest of the kids, and I have nobody to call to take the rest of my kids, and my freaking milk is reminding me that I'm not with my baby.
Could it be possible, just tossing this out there because that's what we do, could it be possible that Steph was so zooted out of her mind that Drew took the baby so that she wasn't in a hospital setting, zooted with her infant? Is that something that could have happened? Now, I don't even know if this seizure happened. I have a lot of questions. I don't believe anything that she says, to be frank, but I would like to know, is that why Drew went instead of her if this even happened.
This is the only clean shirt I had right now, so fuck off. Fuck off if you're insensitive, like, fuck. Sorry for cussing so much. A scary enough situation for the kids, so. I had to come in here and gather myself before I go back out there.
So that's the video that Steph posted. Drew, of course, also has come out with kind of his perspective on things. There are people that are raising the question, is this new content? Like, are these new pictures? Are these things even happening? Is this old content from when Drew previously had a seizure? Which, by the way, if he really had a seizure, why is he still operating a motor vehicle? Just a random question. I don't know everything. I just have a lot of questions and concern when it comes to these two bozos. Again, I go back to, why is she so afraid of being at the hospital with his infant? Is it because she's zooted? Is it because she knows that hospitals and doctors and nurses are mandated reporters? Like, what's the deal? If this happened, going with that narrative, I find it very, very suspicious that she chose to stay back with the other kids when she could have easily and should have easily been there for the infant. In my opinion, if I was gonna say, is this fabricated? Is it true? I'm going to go with the fabricated thing because it's going into the holiday season. Her views have been going down. People are really just bored with her as a topic. I think that it's a grift. And, call me a hater, call me whatever. I just have a really common sense perspective on people like Steph and Drew. But she also posted this video today. Let's watch what she had to say, and then I will give my final thoughts.
Good morning, you guys. It is Friday morning. Is it the 5th? Yes, the 5th. I have a butt ton of laundry to do, and I'm running a little bit behind, but that's okay. Get the kids up and get going for the morning.
I want to say in this video, I'm actually glad that I filmed this now instead of earlier because there's something going on with this infant's hair. One video, she has hair where she's like spreading Nutella all over their sofa, which they do not own, as a friendly reminder. But then in the hospital, it literally looks like she's missing half a head of hair. Now in this video, it looks like her hair is back. When there are so many questions and red flags, you have to just, at least for me, I'm going to automatically go to the, I think you're full of it. I think this is just another way to grift for attention on social media, and you're using your children as pawns. And if you're using your children as pawns so that you can go viral, I am going to continue to call you out every single chance that I get. Steph also recently had a big issue with her children's teacher having one-on-one conversations with them and basically trying to correct some bad behavior that they were exhibiting. And again, common sense is, if you're living in a situation like this as a child, yes, you're going to act out when you're at school. You don't have a stable home life, therefore it's going to show when you're in the classroom. various uh, various manners, so to speak.
Look, I'm gonna try to say this with the most respect that I can, but call me old fashioned. I feel like teachers and parents are supposed to be on the same damn page, especially if it comes to trying to have disciplinary actions towards my child. If there's one thing I don't appreciate, is my child coming home and telling me that they're in a one-on-one type situation where they feel intimidated by a teacher because the teacher took them into a room and told them, you're not supposed to be doing this, you're not supposed to be doing that. Like, excuse me, we're not going to have my 8, 9, and 10-year-old already in the principal's office, especially without me knowing what the hell's going on until after the fact. And then your twisted ass has this disciplinary action towards only some kids in the classroom, but not the other kids. You have this favoritism, weird ass crap, which then leaves my kid feeling even more pressured. I don't fuck with the favoritism. And it's a whole different kind of level of cojones when I called you and specifically said, I do not appreciate that happening. And then the very next day, you did that same thing with my kid. Because while my kid is coming home and telling me, you know how you said this teacher wasn't supposed to come and talk to me in a room by myself? Well, she pulled me into the room by myself and had the same conversation with me. What the fuck is that? I get it. Go ahead and have your biased ass opinion because you see your asses up online. But do not take it out on my children. And this isn't even like it just since we got online. Like I said, I feel like maybe they just think we're young parents who just don't have our shit together because, I don't know, people like to just assume that of people who are poor and roughing it. Because they've just always overstepped their bounds when it comes to how they handled our kids in that freaking school. And the wildest part to me is that they want to claim my kids are lying, that they're coming home and just making up these very specific situations with very vivid details. So when I call these teachers out on like, hey, you're out of line for doing this with my child, they're like, oh, that situation never happened. What? For example, one of my kids came home a few weeks ago and was telling me that one of their teachers was talking about how they have resources to help us out of this homeless situation, just giving very like detailed information to a child that could have been relayed to me when I called the teacher out and said this probably isn't appropriate conversation to be having with my child. The teacher just told me that's not a conversation I would be having with your kids, so I don't think I did. What is that? See, I grew up in that children are seen, not heard household, the household that denies everything that a child has to say. So when my kid brings something to my attention, you can bet I'm going to believe what they have to tell me. Building up a sense of trust between you and your child is incredibly important for the relationship between your child. So why would you not put the faith in what they're trying to tell you? But anyways, yeah, that's my rant for the day. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye-bye now.
I think Steph made that video about having an issue with the kids' teachers as a way to kind of put it in the catalog. And when I announced that I'm going to start homeschooling these kids instead of sending them to school that is filled with mandated reporters, teachers, I think that's a way for her to say, well, look at what I went through in December of 2025. That's why this is happening. Teachers are the bad ones. No, teachers are actually there to help children. And I guarantee you, the teachers that have taught the Jenkins kids have done far more than Steph and Drew have combined. So either way, that's the video. A lot of it was just sped up and no talking, but her caption on it says, crazy the amount of people who turn my daughter Seizure into an opportunity to profit and spread a bunch of rumors. The greediness never ends on these apps, and the same could be said for you. If you don't post it, people are not going to find it and talk about it. If you don't post it, then people are not going to have a conversation about it. She constantly wants to say that it's nobody's business, but we are basing that business off of content that she posts publicly. What a wackadoodle. That's what's going on for now with his situation. 100% of what she says and does, I either think is a grift or a lie. And as always, I feel awful for these children. And that will not change, but we're going to keep talking about it. But I think I've had enough for tonight. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.